all of a sudden then comes up that big KISS event, which I know you're aware of.
Yes.
I saw your wife there, not
Yes.
you.
Well, tragically, I was out of town.
Yeah,
and
you were doing something.
Right.
And Stoney was my saving grace.
Yeah.
You know, Stoney's such a great player, and then when I wasn't really sure with all the moving parts to be able to deal with the gear and the guitar, because I'm not on the road, you know, that I have this an automatic crew.
Right.
And when I just said something to Stoney, and he was just like, "If you need me, I'll be there. Just tell me what to do. Yeah, I'll be there. I'll do it all." And he gets the MVP for for that event.
Yeah.
That I didn't have to think about the gear, the head, the equipment. Everything was there. It was really, and we got through a couple of hairy times together too.
Well, in that situation, it was important for me as a friend and a fan is for him to be Bruce Kulick.
Yeah.
Don't worry about these little things. Just go there and be
Right.
Bruce Kulick.
I worry about
fans
the little
wanna-
things.
I
So
know.
he
The
got
fans,
me.
the fans are excited to see you, and
Right.
they want to see you, and this is your time. Don't
Well,
worry
that
about
goes
doing
back
that.
to you, what you were saying earlier about doing it and doing it right.
Doing it right, right.
That's you.
And I have to tie that back into my two big projects that I'd love to accomplish and really make the big progress on. That if I'm going to be one of the headliners at the KISS show,
Yeah.
with thousands of people from all around the world coming
Yeah.
in to see me perform,
Yes.
I have to blow. My competition is KISS, which
Yes.
is always, you can't really top them because they are KISS.
Sure.
Gene and Paul, and then
Sure.
you add in Tommy and Eric. You know, it's magic for KISS.
Yeah.
But they all know what I represent, and I have to deliver. So on all those KISS cruises, I did deliver. And
Yeah.
to do that, first of all, I got to get myself in shape. I'll create the set. I got to send all the files to the guys, and we're lucky when we get more than one rehearsal. And we
Yeah.
only got one rehearsal because of the schedule.
Right. Right.
And that means a lot of prep. So I can't be thinking about my songs. I
Yeah.
can't be writing a book. There's only so much I can do to prep. And for a solid 2.5 months, every day was that. The last week was, I haven't stood and played live since March. I better perform in my office.
Yeah.
So there I am standing with the pedal board,
Right.
going through the set, because
Yeah.
that's what you got to do. You got to get yourself ready. And thankfully, everything went really great at the event.
How did
I was
it
so
feel?
proud of that. It
Feel
felt
good?
amazing.
I love it.
I mean, I'm always a bit of a, because I'm a perfectionist, a bit of a wreck. You know what I mean?
Sure,
I don't
sure.
know what's going to happen. And, playing with KISS was a lot of fun too. The fact that I got to sit in for 2 songs,
Right.
which had not happened outside of some things on the cruise with the pre-show. You know
Okay.
what I mean? The sail away, you know what I mean?
Right.
Once acoustic, once electric, once or twice acoustic, I think. But to be on the big stage
Yeah.
at the Virgin, the theater, which is beautiful.
Yeah.
The pressure was on to deliver, and everything went great. I was really pleased, and I know the fans responded
Yeah.
very positively, and so mission accomplished.
Yeah. Yeah.
I can say that Bruce stole the show.
Oh, yeah.
Bruce stole the
That-
weekend. His
Corey
band
told me
stole
pretty
the
much the
weekend.
same thing as well. She
mean,
said the same thing.
Yeah, well,
Across the
thanks.
board,
Absolutely.
he was the star of the weekend
Yeah.
for many.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
the hardest thing to accept, but I do, because I get, KISS is such a unique, iconic band, you know what
Sure.
I mean? And I can only represent my era, so what am I worth outside of that? Do you see what I mean? There are promoters who'd like to see me do something. And then I'm like, I have to look at how, I always take care of my guys well, because they deserve it. They make me shine. You know what I
Sure,
mean?
absolutely.
And then I got to look at the travel, and then I got to look at the accommodations, then I got to look at, go that far for one gig? Well, how do we do 3? What is it going to look like? And,
Yeah.
and could I even get them? Because they get committed to these projects that are a solid 3 months or 2 months.
Yeah.
And how am I going to manage all that? So my desire is to do more of that.
Right.
And you can see how I'm so tailor-made for KISS Cruise Landlocked, right?
Without a doubt.
But again, in the bigger scheme of going on tour, representing non-makeup KISS and me, is a lot harder. And I just want to let the fans know, I'm aware of their desire to see me. And Eddie Trunk, who we're both tight with,
Yeah.
he talks about it, how difficult it is for bands to be on the road. And the fans don't really understand,
Yeah.
all the behind. Fortunately, I set my life up in a position that I don't have to do that.
Amen
But
to
there
that.
are many players that if they didn't work, then it would be a problem for them, for their security and
Yeah,
their home.
absolutely.
And their family or whatever is their personal thing. But I put in a lot of time working and working and working and
Yeah,
working,
yeah.
and saving. You know, I don't drive the Lamborghini. You know,
I got you. I get you.
So
100%.
I can pick and choose. But when the right things happen, I'll be there.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah. Curtis and I, we talk about this all the time with 77. We would travel.
Right.
We play for free. You pay us to travel.
Yep.
The traveling is
Right.
is a nightmare.
Yep.
And it takes so much out of you. But it's not like it used to be.
No,
You know,
it got harder and harder.
Right.
And obviously the really huge bands, like the way Kiss, especially in their final 20 years,
Yeah.
private jets and all that. You know, you see a lot of these heritage artists, I like to call them, people who
Right.
are iconic that have been around a very long time.
Right.
And they're still out there and they're in their 70s, some get up into their 80s.
Right.
But those bands are so huge.
Yeah.
I gotta hope that the comfort level, that everything's taken care of.
It has to be. It's got to be.
But also the emotional and physical desire to share their legacy.
Yes.
You know, and this is another reason why the Grand Funk thing didn't fit, and doing it for 20 plus years was plenty. You know what I mean?
Sure.
But I got to give it to Gene and Paul. I'm realizing there was the end, and
Yeah.
they got a sweetheart deal from a company called Pop House by paying them a lot of money.
Yeah.
And I know there's still a lot of confusion about how the fans view it or what their intentions are. But to me, it's a win because there is a large conglomerate of these business people who are in the entertainment business who want to keep Kiss alive.
Right,
You know?
right.
And fortunately, since I'm not sure how much they were really involved with Kiss Cruise Landlocked, but they were involved. Their name was on the
Right.
marquee as a,
Right.
promoting it. But they were really thrilled, and now they're learning more about what the Kiss fans want,
Right.
And how the Kiss, the mind of the Kiss fans work, so that hopefully they'll continue celebrating, and then maybe the goal is ultimately the avatars, and we'll see where all that goes because technology keeps getting more and more intense and
Right.
amazing.
Right.
I wouldn't count out anything, you know.
Yeah.
But I like that they want to also celebrate my era.
Amen to that, brother.
And they have been. It
As they
seems like
should.
they're more
Exactly.
pushing
Right.
more stuff out there.
Because
Right.
they technically bought 50 years of Kiss, you know what I mean? The
Right.
entire catalog, Kiss, or, all of a sudden there's a T-shirt for Asylum promotion with Eric Carr and me on it, as
Yeah.
opposed to before where nobody, bothered. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
It wasn't like I didn't want it. Nobody asked. You know what I'm saying?
get it, yeah.
But I like that there at least it isn't just over. There is new, just new managers of it or
Okay.
procurers, maybe is a word. I'm trying to, right?
Right,
Because Kiss
right.
is going to live forever.
Yeah,
There's no doubt.
absolutely it is.
It has to.
100%. 100%.
It's too famous.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.